From the Hussman School of Journalism and Media at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, covering the full range of Tar Heel athletics. This is Sports Extra.
Step aside, Tom Brady, because the next great quarterback is on his way to New England.
That's right, and he just so happens to be Tar Heel born and bred. Welcome to Sports Extra. I'm Ashley Humphrey.
And I'm Joshua Dolgoff. Thanks for joining us. The 2024 draft was last night, and everyone at UNC was on the edge of their seats waiting to hear where Drake Maye would land. With the third overall pick, the New England Patriots selected Maye to be their next starting quarterback. This makes him head coach Mack Brown's highest draft pick since his return to UNC. Maye had two impressive years at Carolina and finished last season with over 3,600 passing yards and 24 touchdowns. He'll be under new head coach Jerod Mayo, and we wish him the best in the NFL.
After a nerve-wracking waiting process, fans have the thrill of welcoming Seth Trimble back to the Hill. After initially entering the transfer portal, Trimble has decided to jump back into playing for the Tar Heels. Trimble will be a junior this year and looks to make a big impact after UNC lost stars Cormac Ryan, Armando Bacot, and Harrison Ingram. Trimble averaged 5 points a game and shot 47% from the field and stood out with his energy, timely shots, and finishes from off the bench. So Josh, with Seth coming back and reportedly RJ Davis coming back, what do you think the starting five will look like next season?
Ashley, I think the answer is to go small. I am in love with the idea of a three-guard lineup with RJ Davis, Elliot Cadeau, and then Ian Jackson. I know he's just going to be a freshman, but Jackson is already an elite scorer. He gets downhill in a hurry, got a clean handle, good-looking jump shot. UNC should have one of the best backcourts in the country next season. But on the flip side, the front court as of right now still remains a total mystery.
Yes, and who will fill that front court remains unanswered until hopefully we can secure some transfers. Right now, our best bet is probably Jalen Withers replacing Bacot and potentially Drake Powell playing the four. But UNC is also looking at Adu Thiero from Kentucky and Cade Tyson from Belmont. So maybe one of those could fill those spots.
Both guys would be huge pickups because, as we know, in today's day and age of college basketball, the transfer portal is everything. Let's head over to women's lacrosse. On Wednesday, the team traveled to Charlotte for the quarterfinal round of the ACC tournament against Virginia. It was a battle the entire way, but the Heels narrowly lost to the Hoos 13-12, UVA's first win over Carolina in 10 years. To break down the heartbreak, let's head inside the crease with women's lacrosse analyst Caroline Routh. Caroline?
Joshua, a battle to the end. That's what we expected, and that's exactly what we got. The whole game, UVA was up, and UNC was playing catch-up. Let me walk you through the last minute of the game. Here you see UNC is down 2. We have Riley Casey with the ball, and she's going to wrap it around the crease. Now, while all eyes are on Casey, not our very own, but Ashley Humphrey right here is going to sneak around. Casey's going to hit Humphrey, and Humphrey with a no angle is going to level the score, making it a 1-goal game. Now, UNC is going to win the next draw control, and they're going to call a timeout. It's a must-score possession. Coach Levy's got to drop a play and decide who's going to be the shooter. Now, Humphrey just scored. She's hot. Should she be the one? What about Long or Wurzberger? They're seniors. They have that experience. And then again, there's Kylie Motice. She led the Heels in scoring all day with a hat trick. All right, well, let's see what they do. This next set is going to be a crucial one. Over here, we have Wurzberger and Humphrey down at X. And then we are just going to see Kylie Motice. She's going to come streaking in. She catches it, and this is textbook, right? She has the ball on the right side of her stick. She's got that angle. She's beating her defender. It's just between her and the goalie. But unfortunately, she takes a bouncer shot. The goalie stops it, and with that save, the game is sealed. UVA winds out the clock, and the Ride just can't get it back. Joshua, this is the first time the Heels aren't in the ACC semifinals, ever.
Caroline, do you think the Heels are disappointed with their postseason play?
There's no doubt. This was an absolute heartbreaker for the Heels. To go from a preseason #3 team to losing before the ACC semis for the first time in program history, they were riddled with injuries all season. But still, it's not what we've come to expect from Tar Heel lacrosse.
The Heels await their fate in the NCAA tournament as the selection show will take place May 5th. Thanks, Caroline.
Despite the men's lacrosse team being the only ACC team outside the top 25, the Heels still have a chance to make it to the ACC tournament and leave out the #2 team in the country, Duke. Let's go over to Riley Kennedy to break down Duke's offense.
Ashley, Duke's offense clips at such a high rate. They're third in the country in shooting percentage and have the fourth highest scoring offense. This is last week against Virginia. 3 clips. Their attackmen are so good. Now watch Brendan O'Neill, okay? One of the best players in the world, plays for Team USA, left-hander, okay? He's going to sit on his backside pipe. Watch this Virginia defender, okay? He's hot, so he's going to go. But there's nobody back home, okay? No one's back door on the backside pipe. O'Neill catches this, and he's going to finish it every single time. Now on this next set, okay, Brendan O'Neill, like I said, one of the best players in the country. Watch this. Okay, obviously he's a tall attackman, okay, but he's going against Virginia defenders that are 6'5", 6'6", 6'7". This is bully ball. You're never seeing this. He's going through guys, it's like football. It's like Superman, okay? UNC's going to have a hard time guarding him. This next one, Dyson Williams, okay? Watch him down low. He's going to catch this ball, okay, in space. This is good defense, but it's not great defense. If you're the defender, you want your stick right on his hip, okay? He's like hedging. You got to go. Dyson Williams catches this. If you give him space, he's going to finish it every single time. Now, Ashley, against Virginia, the attack unit for Duke scored 12 goals. Virginia as a team only had 12 goals in the game. Now, 11 of those goals were unassisted, which UNC is going to have to watch out for. The only goal that was assisted was on man up, Ashley.
Riley, how does UNC stop Duke?
I think, honestly, it comes down to how well UNC plays on offense. Duke is going to score goals. UNC needs to figure it out in midfield, right? They're lacking that urgency because most of their scoring is coming from the attackmen.
Well, it'll be an exciting battle of the Blues. Thanks, Riley.
Some teams at Carolina don't get the respect they deserve, but with the recent success, this team is one to pay attention to. Here's Thomas Hicks.
Rowing has not been on the forefront of UNC fans' minds, but with recent successes, fans ought to pay attention. During recent races in Sarasota, the team placed 4th overall, with all the boats making it to the grand final. But this hasn't always been the case. Former UNC rower Erin Appel came in 3 years ago and saw she needed to get her alma mater's program in ship shape.
I mean, it needed a lot of work. I feel like athletically, administratively, everything needed a little bit of work. And again, we've seen a lot of change, and it's been very exciting and super motivating to kind of keep doing it. I have a lot of passion for this place and this program, and just in general for what rowing can do for young women, not only in college, but in life, after school.
One of these young women are Lydia Houle, who walked on after playing a variety of sports in high school, including kicker. She tells us what it was like racing in one of the boats in their recent meet.
It was super awesome, and the 2v8 ended up placing 5th in the grand final, and as a team we scored enough points to secure a 4th place finish, which was very exciting for us.
The program has changed so much, and junior Chloe Schneider has been there to see the growth from the work her team has put in since their coach arrived.
There's 2 whole years of that, of just like fitness. And then this year we've started to see a lot of the rewards from that, and we're able to just go faster, and the standard, our baseline standard, is just so much higher now.
It seems that players and coaches have raised the standard for this program, and I think we can expect more good things to come. I'm Thomas Hicks, reporting.
I think Thomas is right that this team's hard work is paying off.
Baseball has been booming for UNC this season, and the Heels look to continue their winning ways heading into their home weekend series against Virginia Tech. What a dinger of a season so far for the Diamond Heels. They're sitting at 31-10 and lead the ACC in conference play. On top of that, they sit at 15 in the AP poll and have high hopes for Omaha this year. But they still have a lot of season left, like this weekend series at the Bosch against Virginia Tech. The Hokies are no laughingstock and boast a very respectable record of 26-12. The first pitch is tonight at 6.
Carolina fans hope it's going to be a weekend full of rallies for the UNC softball team as the Heels head down to Tallahassee today to face Florida State in a 3-game series. The Heels are coming off a 6-4 loss in Tuesday's game against the East Carolina Pirates. In order to bounce back this weekend against the Seminoles, the Heels will need to show up at the plate to get the job done. Against ECU, the team used 4 pitchers to try to seal the deal, but they all fell short. This weekend, all pitchers will need to step up to help secure the much-needed dub.
Earlier this week, the men's golf team took on ACC's best with a shot at the conference title. It was a close semifinal matchup with Wake Forest, but Carolina was able to pull out the victory 3-2. In the final, senior Peter Fountain sank a putt on the 17th hole to clinch the title for UNC, beating Florida State 3-1. This is the first title for this team since 2006.
On Monday, we gave you our 2 nominees for Sports Extra's Play of the Week. This week saw the most narrow margin of victory for a Play of the Week. And the winner, by 1 vote, is Autumn Owen of the UNC softball team, tying up the game with a 2-out home run in the bottom of the 7th inning. Later that same inning, the Heels would walk off Louisville, winning the weekend series. This was the last vote of the semester, but make sure you tune in on Monday for a very special edition of Play of the Week.
From Tobacco Road all the way to Paris, Spencer Haskell tells us the story of an Olympic wrestler with a unique connection to the Carolina-Duke rivalry.
Representing Puerto Rico in Paris this summer, Ethan Ramos is the first Tar Heel wrestler in program history to qualify for the Olympic Games.
So I'm excited to see that and see all these different countries come together and then be able to experience that with the teammates as well.
Graduating from Carolina in 2018, Ramos now lives in Durham and trains at Duke, where he serves as a part-time assistant coach for the Blue Devils wrestling team.
So I found an opening with Duke and started coaching there. And now I'm more focused on my athletics while still coaching a little bit. So
Ramos hopes to use his platform to grow the sport of wrestling back in Puerto Rico.
Like I started this YouTube channel, Koki Wrestling, and the reason is because I want to elevate the wrestling in Puerto Rico specifically. So for me now, being able to represent them, I feel like that gives me more of the platform, and like specifically represent them in the Olympics, gives me like a bigger platform to be able to reach more of the kids over there.
Olympic athletes are the best in the world at what they do, and reaching that point requires hours of hard work and training.
My plan is to do 3 days a week of lifting, 3 days cardio. So then maybe that'll be within like after a lift or just on another like off day or something. And then the plan will be probably like 4 to 5 days on the mat, just one time a day.
While competing in the Olympics is a dream come true, Ramos says there is still work to be done.
The goal has always been to be an Olympic champ. So yeah, making the Olympics has been really exciting and definitely more exciting than I expected. But yeah, still not fully there yet.
I'm Spencer Haskell, reporting.
You can watch Ramos go for the gold in Paris this summer as the 86-kilogram freestyle wrestling begins on August 8th. Josh, both of us are going to Paris this summer to cover the Olympics. Have you been working on your French?
I have not. I'm more of a Spanish guy myself, but I might have to get on that Duolingo to make sure I can navigate my way around the city, or at the very least, be able to order off of a menu because the food in France, just spectacular.
I know. I'll definitely be making a stop at the Trocadero for some crepes. Au revoir, and that does it for this edition of Sports Extra.
We'll be back on Monday for our last show of the semester.